Africa. You're welcome to ETV Ghana's African Women's Voices show. This is always the show that tackles issues pertaining to women as they contribute to national development. It's Pinktober, and I am in my pink. And I hope you always remember that we have people who are surviving breast cancer, we have those who have passed, and we have those who haven't even tested to know what their status is. Whatever category you belong to, we would encourage you to get checked. And when you get checked, whatever the result or the outcome is, you need to be able to take the next steps because we all want you to stay alive and healthy for all of us. And across the globe, we're also celebrating Customer Service Week. And we're going to be talking about customer service here in Ghana and across Africa. And you're going to call in at some point to let us know if you're experiencing the kind of customer service you expected to always receive from the people who have been servicing you. Well, I'd like to hear from you when it gets to that point. And we have our customer service trainer already seated. I'm going to introduce her to you, but we'll first go for 60 seconds update segment where we tell you what's happening with women in Ghana and across Africa and the world. Today, it is dedicated to a particular lady. Her name is Akofa Ejeni. She's one of Ghana's actresses who has become like a legend for us. Her mother passed, and we are all expressing our sympathies, and she is the one taking up our 6 seconds update today. So let's take a look at the information around the burial arrangements. Do not go away.
With deep sorrow, we announce the home calling of our beloved Da Alice Gret Kwau Ezieni, aged 89, whose death occurred at the 37 Military Hospital on 17th of August 2022. The funeral service will be held on Saturday, 8th October 2022, EP Church, Avatime, Bazeme, Volta region at 9 a.m. The funeral rites will be held at Valley View Event Center, Bazeme. The Thanksgiving service will be held on Sunday, 9th October 2022 at the EP Church, Bazome at 9 a.m. and the final Thanksgiving service on Sunday, 23rd October 2022 at EP Church, Trinity Parish, Medina, Accra at 9:30 a.m.
Well, may the soul of Akofa Ejeni's mom rest in perfect peace. Amen. Now we are going to the activity for today, which is Customer Service Week. I mentioned earlier that we would like to hear from you in the course of the program through phone call. What kind of service you've been experiencing and whether they need to upgrade, or okay, maybe you find it fine, or you think that something should be done to make it better. Before we get to that point, let's introduce our guest who is familiar on the African Women's Voices show. Today, she's wearing a different cap. She's wearing a customer service cap, a cap she's worn for a very long time, close to 18 years, right?
Yes, you're right.
Excellent. So we have Lady Sam here. Lady Sam, you're welcome to African Women's Voices show.
Thank you. It's good to be here again.
Looking all bubbly and good and nice. I am
thank
really
you.
loving how you look.
Okay, well, I'm taking a leaf out of your book. I'm loving how you're looking, especially the colors. Very appropriate for this one.
Thank you so much. So, what would your first question be? Well, my first question is going to have to be around customer service here in Ghana. And let's delve into what it is supposed to be. What is customer service supposed to be?
Okay, so customer service, simplistically put, is really about the businesses that customers engage in or shall I say customers getting assistance from the businesses that they've patronized goods and service from. So it's really about the business providing service to the customer who has patronized their goods and services. That's really what it is. So that's customer service. And we know that, as you have mentioned, this is a week that is dedicated to customer service. So we know it's a big thing, and rightly so.
Okay, it is a big thing because, I mean, we all want to be served right. And we have this thing that says that the customers are always right. We'll be finding out from her whether it's actually true. Are the customers always right?
You know, that phrase was coined by somebody called Harry Selfridge. He owns a departmental store. It's a big departmental store, Selfridges, or shall I say he founded Selfridges, and it's a big departmental store. Now, he recognized that there was a correlation between customer satisfaction and business growth. And so that's where that sentiment came from. The customer is always right. So it really speaks to the quality of service you're supposed to provide to your customer. Is the customer always right? No. But you should always try to make the situation right. So I think you should look at the perspective, what that slogan actually means. And I know this has been a conversation that has come up a lot recently, and I wouldn't say it is debatable, because the customer isn't always right, and you as a business will have to make a choice as to whether to cut your losses or not when it comes to the particular customer. If you find a customer who's very difficult, who's verbally abusive, or even disturbing the ambience, you know, then you know that this is not a situation where you'd say the customer is right, and you'd have to, as I say, cut your losses and do something about that situation. But I just want to reiterate, it's more about you understanding the slogan. The customer is always right basically means that you must do what you can to give quality service to the customer.
To the customer. Okay. You know, I like the fact that she mentioned that the customers are not always right, and it's something that we all find very difficult to accept. A lot of times customers feel that, okay, you know what, I am paying for this service, so I expect you to bow to me and do things the way I want. You know, they just tell you, yeah, I'm the customer, so I'm always right. You should do this for me. You should do that. So we make demands, and sometimes the way we make the demands are not so nice. So we'll be speaking to both the client and to the customer. So for you to enjoy your experience, you need to be a good customer so that the experience goes both ways, all right? We'll go for a quick commercial break. When we return, I have this particular question I want to ask Lady Sam around customer service and how it all began for her, because it's a women's show and we always want to be in the forefront of our conversations. And when it comes to customer service, you find more women. And let's see, when we come back, how should women shape the future of customer service? We'll talk about that when we return. Do not go away. You're welcome back to ETV Ghana's African Women's Voices show. Before we went on the break, I spoke about the fact that when it comes to customer service, you meet a lot of women. I mean, it's an aspect of business that you find a lot more women, you know, providing or rendering support. And even if you find men within the space, before you know it, the men probably begin to rise above the ladder, and then the lady is still at the first level, second level of customer service, and then you find the man getting to be the director of customer service and going up, and then the woman is still where she is. It's a challenge. But we all know that when it comes to service, women really naturally, you know, toe that line and will offer you a better service, make you feel comfortable, because we are nurturing biologically. So we want to discuss today why women should actually change the future of customer service. Did you get my question? Why do we think women should change it? Because we naturally flow in this space, so we feel that we are the ones who should influence the good things that will be happening here. Do you agree with me, Sam?
Yeah, I do. I mean, the truth of the matter is, you said it all. If I look at myself, for example, when I started in the customer service industry over 18 years ago, you know, so many years ago, I was actually working for an airline, and I can tell you, for every 4 women there was one guy doing the same job that I was doing. So that means that, you know, 80% from my view of those occupying the role in customer service were women. But as you said rightfully, you would see that as the higher the position, it was more likely to be a male than a female. There's a disparity. So I agree with you, because it makes sense. If it's women who are predominantly occupying that position, then it makes sense that they should be the one that should be leading that position. And when you think about the soft skills that are required for customer service, it is skills that, you know, let's be honest, you said it earlier on, it's skills that women are more akin to, so you're talking skills like having empathy, you know. Women, we can be, yes, we talk. You heard that, you know, we do
Yeah,
talk.
we do talk.
We do
Yeah.
talk. That's what we're doing now. But we're also very good listeners and we are sympathetic. And these are skills that are needed when you are in the customer service industry. You need to empathize. You need to put yourself in the shoes of the customer. Because at the end of the day, a customer wants to feel valued. When they are patronizing your service, they want to know that you value their custom. And you know, I mean, it's debatable. I mean, I read a lot, and there's a lot of research that tells you about the role of a woman and how she performs in leadership roles versus that of a male. And we don't want to make it male against female. We need each other, right? But the truth of the matter is we have particular skills and men have particular skills. We have, you know, particular genetics. Men have particular. Look, that's a tongue twister for me. Genetics. That's just the way it is. And so I agree with you, even 200%, if I can say that. Women should be the one leading this space, because when you look at them in terms of the customer service role, you'll see more women there. I'm sorry to say, at the bottom of the pyramid. It makes sense for them to be at the top of the pyramid. Why shouldn't they be? They understand it. That is why they're there. And so if they have the same skill set, they should be given the same opportunities.
As well.
Yeah.
Great. So how was it for you stepping into the customer service zone, especially here in Ghana?
It wasn't easy.
It wasn't.
I mean, when I came here some years ago, I came here as a trainer. And the truth of the matter, Eunice, I stopped doing that for a couple of years because the climate wasn't right. I faced a lot of challenges. Yes, there were businesses that engaged me, but the training, it was difficult. And I felt like, look, I don't want these businesses to waste their money. And that's what I thought they were doing, if I'm totally honest with you.
Okay, so you felt the business was paying you money to train their staff.
But they were not receptive. The staff, this is my experience. And I appreciate people have different experiences, but I'm speaking from my experience. Honestly, the climate was not receptive for customer service training at that time. And when I say the climate, like I said, the businesses engaged me, but then I had to train the staff. And, you know, it was a hard battle. It was a hurdle. And so I actually stopped because I just felt, well, I'm not really having the impact that I would like. But some years later, here we are, and you can see, look, here we are talking about customer service. And to tell you, I've sat on, you know, a few places this week talking about customer service. So people are more open, people are more receptive. I have seen the growth. There has been progression in this area. Is it where it could be? No. But we are definitely moving in the right direction.
Great. I like to hear that. Okay. Now that we have an understanding of how you started and how it looked like the climate wasn't the best then, but today the story is a lot better.
Yes.
Let's let the viewers have an understanding of the value of customer service. Why is customer service important for any business?
Well, you know, there's a survey that I came across. This survey was done in 2021. And although it was done across the UK and the US, I believe that there would be some similarities here in Africa. And the survey was this, or I would say the outcome or the result of the survey was that 60% of people who answered the survey said that if they had bad customer service from a particular organization, doesn't matter how good the product was, they wouldn't, you know, go back to that business again. They wouldn't patronize the business, no matter how good the product was. So customer service is the lifeline to your business now. It's even seen as a marketing strategy. It is a way to get repeat business. You have to show that you value the customer. You have to invest in your customer, and customer service is the way to do that. It's really important. That's why there's a whole week dedicated to customer service. The customer is the lifeline to the business.
Great. So when we say customer service and we say customer experience, are they the same thing?
No, they're not. Customer service is part of the customer experience. Okay. So customer experience, today I'm being tongue twisted, sorry. Customer experience looks at the end-to-end experience for the customer. So from when they engage the business, it could be online, it could be by telephone, it could be through email. But it's pre-purchase, during purchase, and post-purchase. This is the customer experience. So looking at the end-to-end experience for the customer. Now look, there's even a survey, me and my surveys, that says 52% of people, when they do research, if they don't get information on the organization or enough, and what enough means is down to the individual, but if there's not enough information for the customer, they're not likely to want to pursue engagement of that particular brand or business. So that is customer experience, how the customer experiences your brand through the various channels. Whereas, as I said, customer service looks at the assistance that is provided by the organization that has engaged the customer. So how you assist the customer that is engaged in your business, that's customer service. Okay. But it is part of the customer experience. So I hope that explains that.
So now, since we are into the customer service conversation, let's take a look at maybe any business.
Yeah.
Why should a business owner invest in the customer service experience? I mean, they've got products there. Why not invest in the products? And they are being made to understand that they need to invest into the customer experience so that customer service is better.
Because we live in a competitive world now, right? And these days it's hard to tell, you know, one product from another. I'm not going to actually mention products, but if you think about it, you know, one phone versus another phone, sometimes the differences are very minimal. So there has to be something that, you know, what is your unique selling proposition? And there's a research that shows that it can be found through customer service. So if you want to keep your business, because the customers are the one that patronize your business, and don't forget 70% of your business comes through repeat business.
Yes,
right?
That's true.
And Maya Angelou, I'm going to use her phrase, I've been saying that a lot. She says many people may forget what you do, they may forget what you say, but they don't forget how you
make them feel.
Exactly. And what I say when I train the trainees in my customer service program is that people are patronizing the experience. It's beyond the product now, it is the experience. So if you want repeat business, if you want to sustain your business, it's a no-brainer. You need to invest in customer service. Like I said, people want to feel valued. You're a customer, right? Yeah. You know, when you go to a shop or even to a restaurant, imagine you go to a restaurant and there's somebody there with a toothpick, because I've had that experience, in their mouth.
You have had that experience?
I'm telling you.
The person had a toothpick in his mouth.
This was quite some years ago, but in this country.
Okay.
And they're like...
Tell me about it. I want to hear this. The person had a toothpick.
I'm not joking. The person had a toothpick in their mouth. And they were standing there asking me, what do you want to drink? Exactly like that. And you think that I'll be encouraged, I mean, I was with somebody, and needless to say, we didn't stay very long in that establishment. But I'm telling you, which means I told other people, right? So it's about, that's the other thing. When you have a good experience, you tell, they say on average, 5 people. When you have a bad experience, you actually tell
a lot more people.
Exactly. Like I'm telling you.
Because
so
you don't want anyone to go experience that kind of bad service.
Exactly. So this tells you how important it is to invest in customer service, how important customer service is, how you treat me, right? And how you respect my money. That's really what customer service is.
Okay, so what about employees?
Yeah.
What are the key qualities somebody needs to have to be a good customer service person? Because we are looking at customer service as a whole.
Yeah.
We are not looking at it as, okay, your job is the customer service, be the customer service personnel here. Everyone is supposed to be involved somehow, you know, in customer service, because the experience as a cameraman you give to somebody who comes in here is part of the customer service.
Yes.
So you don't say, okay, it was a front desk person who didn't treat the client well. So, I mean, I'm not to be blamed. Everyone plays a role when it comes to customer service. So what kind of qualities are we expected to have? You mentioned initially that we need to be empathetic,
yes,
you know, and have some kind of soft skill. So if you can actually hit more on that
the
aspect. So
soft
we
skills.
all know
Yeah.
what we're supposed to be doing to be better customer service personnel.
Yeah, so empathy, we mentioned that earlier on. So that means putting yourself in the shoes of the consumer. It's good to have good listening skills. We have 2 ears, 1 mouth for a reason. You have to listen twice as much as you talk. Again, it's all about the customer wants to feel heard. You have to be respectful. You know, these are the soft skills. Be respectful, not like having a toothpick. That's not respectful, right? It's not even hygienic, but that's another discussion. So you need to be respectful. You need to be attentive. You know, you need to have good communication skills, and that includes your body language, open body communicate. So you show that actually I am ready to serve you, and just little things like, you know, I have a customer service team. And so what I always tell them is that they must have a notebook to take down notes, because you need to demonstrate, going back to what we said about good listening skills, you need to demonstrate that you are listening and you've understood what the concern is or the challenges. And you know, sometimes a lot of things pass through our mind. So when you write things down, you have something to refer to, and you can also relay it to them and, you know, make reference to your notes. And that really lets them know you have been listening. These are really, you know, the soft skills. Just having good communication, letting somebody know that, okay, I'll get back to you in 5 minutes, 10 minutes, managing their expectations. These little things make a big difference. So paying attention to the details, like I said, taking notes, listening, having good communication, being respectful, being timely. You know, when you say, you got to say what you mean and mean what you say. So if you say 5 minutes, actually it should be 4 minutes. You know, so just these little things, but
really
make
matter.
a lot of difference.
Okay, so bringing it back home here in Ghana, there are also other ways that people could relate to you that would give you, you know, a very good customer experience. Personally, I have noticed that when I meet people, maybe somehow, would I say, in the area of need, certain touch points. For instance, I have a client who is having a naming ceremony, who just had a baby. This is beyond work. I'm not actually supposed to go for the naming ceremony. But I bond myself with this client, and I go as far as even showing up for the naming ceremony. If they've got a burial activity and I hear about it, I can make it, I show up as well. So I've noticed over time that meeting people at these various touch points also influences how they also receive you, you know, in their business, because they feel like, okay, she's not just seeing me as a product or as somebody who I need to take money from and all of that. The person is going an extra mile to be nice, to be there for me at my wedding, at maybe a birthday party, or like I mentioned, maybe funeral service, and, you know, naming ceremony. The reason I'm saying this is that for those of us who work in corporate Ghana, let's say our kind of client and customer relations is a bit different. It's not only about, okay, money, money, money. We have a service we render. So if we're rendering this service, sometimes they're paid for, sometimes they're not paid for. How many of us are willing to go the extra mile to do some of these things? It has worked for me. And I'm going to be opening the phone lines after this commercial break for you to tell me whether you've tried something like this and if it worked for you or not. Because, I mean, what worked for me may not be working for you. Some people may want to abuse it. So you came for my first naming ceremony, I had 2 more babies and you didn't show up. You find people saying something like that. Meanwhile, you made time to come for the first baby, and then because you couldn't make it to the other 2 babies, then, okay, you're not a bad person. I'm just trying to say that we have various ways of meeting people when it comes to customer service, and you just have to have it in mind that you need to go the extra mile to be able to get people to relate with you better and continue to do business with you. We'll go for this particular short commercial break. When we come back, I'll open the phone lines because I really want to hear from you. Customer service is about feedback. We want to let corporate Ghana understand how Ghanaians are feeling, you know, about the kind of services they are rendering. I mean, I've seen my phone flooded with text messages from so many companies I've passed through, you know, across the years. I'm surprised that some of them even remember my phone number. They never reached out, but this customer service week is like the floodgates of, you know, text messages have been opened because everybody wants to be seen in the space of customer service.
Yeah.
It's not just about sending us messages. We will tell you about the experiences as well. So when we return, we open the phone lines. Do not go away. You are welcome back to ETV Ghana's African Women's Voices show. If you just joined us, about 30 minutes have been missed, and well, just stick and stay for the next 30 minutes because you're going to enjoy this conversation. I have asked that the phone lines be activated so that we hear from you around what your experience has been when it comes to customer service here in Ghana or wherever it is you find yourself. Since this is streaming on Facebook and we have quite a number of people watching us from across the world. Let me go to our Facebook page to appreciate those who are watching us right now. Blaze Dan says, great show. And Blaze comes back again and says, I've shared mine, so share yours. Okay, what have you shared? Okay, you shared that it's a great show. Right, thank you. Now we have Naomi Quake, which says, I'm glad Lady Sam values customer service, although I believe Ghana still has a lot to learn about the importance of customer service for business success. Okay, Naomi, we have noted what you have to say, that Ghana still has a long way, and we'll get to find out from the phone calls that will be coming through as to whether people are happy with the kind of services they are experiencing or not. I see some people also who are watching us from different parts. Okay, I hear we have a phone call. Hello? Hello, caller?
Good evening, madam.
Good evening. Please, what's your name and where are you calling us from?
I'm called Chief, calling from Dansoma Last.
Okay, Chief, please go ahead with your comment.
In fact, we have a very terrible kind of service in Ghana.
Okay.
And if you try to comment or you try to educate, they take you as enemy.
All right.
Even yesterday, I went to a health facility. To my surprise, the health officials working on me were just talking, chatting. How much is this? How much is that? Oh,
wow.
This one is expensive. What's the client or
the patient?
The patient is under you. You're working on him. You are talking, conversing here and there.
No.
And if you talk, they think you are too knowing or something like that. So customer service in Ghana is actually very terrific. The other time, that was last week, my wife went to a salon. You could see the apprentices talking whilst plaiting her hair. They were talking, chatting here and there, and so it's disgusting.
Oh.
So we have a long way to go, actually, and we don't know how. We visited. I did hospitality and tourism management, so there's a component of customer care. So you go to certain restaurants and you see that the waiter is sitting in a chair, sitting as if he is in his kitchen or something like that, chatting. Some of them will even be eating in the restaurants. Meanwhile, you can't be eating in presence of the customer. So we have a problem, actually. Thank you for your program. It's very educative.
Okay, thank you, Chief, for calling us. We appreciate your call. Wow. How would you be working on a patient and you're chatting over the patient?
Rather unfortunate.
That's so terrible. If you are a health facility and this is what you do, or this is what your staff members are doing, you need to make a change because it's not the best at all. Why would you be talking over a patient? And for the ladies in the salon making people's hair and talking over them, you need to stop. I hear we have another caller. Hello, caller.
Hello.
Please, what's your name and where are you calling us from?
My name is Sophie and I'm calling from Milan.
Okay. Please go ahead.
So I work at Baker Bills as a front salesperson, and I would like to share my little experience concerning customer service. Okay, so actually, you need to be respectful. You would have to have empathy, and it all goes into that. And I'm really thankful she said that because I think a lot of people are watching. Because sometimes I go a little over to ask them a question like, how is your mom going? And I could even ask them a question like, converse with them and ask them, what do you know about the Queen's burial? No, a customer can't come into your shop and you expect the person to just start. Please, I want this and just go. You need to have a conversation with them.
And engage them.
Be at the end of them, feel like you are the one standing there. How will you really and how will you I don't know how to say it.
So,
So,
so your
what
question?
I want to share,
Okay.
what I really want to share is that customer service is very key. And as Ghanaians, as young girls working everywhere, find ourselves, we need to uphold this and then give our all to the customer whenever they come to the shop.
Okay.
We have to have value for them who they spend in buying whatever they purchase in the shop.
Thank you.
Them.
Thank you very much for your presentation. It's well noted. So she's saying that customer service is really important and you need to be able to engage your clients when they come. You don't frown your face when clients come into your place, and then it's more like the service. When you're done, you pay and leave. And what she's saying is different from what Chief said. For Chief's wife, she was having this hair care service and they were talking over her head. Like the staff members were just talking about their own issues over the client. They were not engaging the client and probably asking the client something about how to serve her better. But it was about they chatting. So that's different from what Chief mentioned. So Chief's conversation was about the negative side of engagement. If you're engaging while a client is there, do not engage each other as people who are in the marketplace and then you're spitting on the customer and saying whatever you want to say and the customer is just there. That's not the best. However, the engagement that she is proposing is you need to try to ask the customer questions that is going to make her or him feel more comfortable to enjoy your service, right?
Right. You know, and you said his name is Chief?
Yes.
Yeah, because if you also remember, he also mentioned a conversation or an experience he had in a restaurant. And we're not targeting restaurants, but to be honest, this is the brunt of where I've had this not the best customer service.
Okay.
And he mentioned that when he went to a restaurant, there was a waiter there sitting also eating. I mean, come on.
That's wrong.
You know, and I think we need to get more. I know I'm showing it, I am quite passionate about this subject because I feel like there's a disparity between what we say we are as Ghanaians. We're supposed to be hospitable people. But yet when you go into some environments, is this the hospitality? You know, we can do so much more. And like I said earlier on, at the end of the, and I like the fact that we are being more demanding and we have the right to be. We have choices now. There's not just one restaurant. There's not just one phone. There's not just one salon. Even there's not just one healthcare facility. We have choices. So if I'm coming here, it means I've made the choice. I'm giving you my money and I'm expecting a particular service from you. It's an exchange. I'm giving you money in return for the business that you say you do. You know, and we really have to step up. Honestly, I would actually, I'm probably jumping ahead, but I would encourage business to invest in mystery shopping.
Okay.
If you really want to understand what your customer is experiencing, you know, have a mystery shopper and see. You know, I sponsored a play the other day.
Yes, Skirts and Suits.
Skirts and Suits. I think that was a really good play. It was entertaining. But also the key message, what came out was that people are watching. People are watching. And there was a mystery, I'm giving it away, but there was a mystery shopper in the end. And people, you know, some of the staff, they felt so ashamed. But you should always, there's a saying that you should work as if you're doing it for God.
Yeah, because I just want to ask this question.
Yeah.
When people behave this way, I don't think it's really about the fact that they don't know the right things to do. They know that what they're doing is wrong, but they just don't care because probably the boss is not sitting there to reprimand them, so they do as they feel. But once the boss or maybe a supervisor is on them to say, no, you're not supposed to do this, then they're actually doing the right thing. So the next phone call, I would really like to hear from you and know, do you think people don't know really when they're not giving a good service? They know. For me, that's how I feel. I feel they know, but they're just being eye service, plain eye service. They feel like, okay, if somebody is watching, I'm at my best. But once no one is watching, I mean, who cares? I don't really care, which is wrong. So wrong. So wrong. Let's go for our final commercial break. When we return, we'll wrap up. And if you still have comments, please send them through to our Facebook page right away. Stay tuned. And you're welcome back to ETV Ghana's African Women's Voices show. I thank you so much for those who actually called in to express their experience around customer service. And not even one person has praised their clients for great customer service. So that tells you that the way we rate customer service in this country is really high. We expect a lot, and we're not getting what it is that we are going to be getting back. And when we started the show, I mentioned that it's Pinktober, so let's not forget that we need to create the awareness needed around breast cancer. And as part of activities to create this awareness, we have a short video around nutritional care for people living with breast cancer. Very short one. Let's take that, and then we conclude on our conversation around Customer Service Week this day.
Nutrition care for breast cancer patients. Understanding the fundamentals of nutrition can help to create a diet that is not only healthy but also sustainable. The nutrition guidelines covered here are things you can apply to your life before, during, and long after you face cancer to optimize your health. Eat the rainbow. The colors in foods are created by different compounds called pigments, and each pigment actually has their own unique health benefits. Red and orange foods such as peppers and carrots have different health benefits from green foods such as spinach and kale, which have different health benefits from white foods such as garlic and cauliflower. One health benefit of pigments is their antioxidant potential, which helps protect cells from damage, therefore reduce the risk for developing cancer or recurrence. Consuming foods of every color assures that you are getting the most from your diet. High-risk foods to avoid. Certain foods are known to be more high risk than others and should be avoided or eaten with caution while your immune system is compromised. These foods include raw or undercooked fish, meat and poultry, eggs, shellfish and unpasteurized dairy, raw sprouts and lettuce, pre-cut tomatoes and melons. Breast cancer awareness. Hashtag breast cancer awareness on GMABC.
And you're welcome back. So I want to believe you've taken note of the nutrition care for those who are living with breast cancer. If you need to get back to this, it's showing on our station on repeat. Saturday at 12 noon, you get to watch this again. And if you go on our Facebook page, you get to also look at it and probably save it for you to go back to it. We're now going to be concluding on a conversation, and I spoke about how we rate customer service in Ghana. I'd like to hear from Lady Sam. How would you rate customer service here in Ghana after all the conversation we've had from beginning to now?
You're putting me on the spot. But I mentioned that when I first came here, I used to do customer service training. So if I can look at it from then, I would say then I would give it out of 100. We were at 20. Now I would say we've moved to around 50. So it means we're halfway there. We've heard the people call in, and you can't negate their experiences. Your experiences are my experiences. But if we look at where we've come from, we have come a long way. But definitely, there is so much more we can do. You heard it from the callers. Me, I had my story. That one was from some years ago, but I have more recent ones. When you go into a restaurant, and some of the waiters or attendants act like they're doing you a favor. That has to stop. It's not the best. Now, this is not the experience in every restaurant. Of course not. But the ones, there are more, there are more like that than should be, basically. And like I said, we need to let our Ghanaianness, our hospitality shine. It's not always shining. So I've given it a 50, knowing that we can do so much more.
Great. So will you take that as your final word, or do you have some more things to say?
Well, I would say we know that we are marking Customer Service Week. And I think the key thing for us to remember, it's not a day. Customer service is not about a day. It's not about a week. It's actually about a process that should be instilled in businesses. Businesses should take customer service very seriously, because the customer is king or queen. The customer is the lifeline to your business. So you need to show them you value them so that you can sustain your business, so that you can get repeat business. Invest in customer service.
Great. invest in customer service. And if you are a business owner who has been putting in your best in terms of customer service, we want you to keep it up. And if you are a customer that is very heady and difficult to please, would you please, balance it a little bit? Let people feel more comfortable to serve you. And let's not make it about, oh, I am always right and you are the wrong person. Let's just be open to receive and also to be able to give. All right. So please, the next time we get to meet, we'll have further conversations around breast cancer. We're having Dr. Irajwa Nuno should be here to discuss No Bra Day. For those of you who think that No Bra Day is just about not wearing bra, it means a whole lot more, and we need to remind you of what it is about. Thank you so much, Lady Sam, for gracing our studio and for talking about customer service with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, and if I can just have 10 seconds. And I would say you can follow me at Lady Sam GH for more tips on customer service, because I do training. I'm not plugging my services, well maybe I am, but I enjoy it. I'm passionate about it. So you can follow me at Lady Sam GH on Instagram if you want to know more.
Thank you very much. So please, until we meet next time, do enjoy the rest of our interesting lineup for you. Bye-bye.